Alright, Algebra 1 people, this is 3.4, 3.5 notes, and this is the last chunk of it, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I'm going to show you how to do these. First of all, these are written in what is called standard form. I don't know if you've seen this before, but standard form just means the x's and y's are on the same, on the same side. Let's make sure you can see that. X's and Y's are on the same side. Now, let me show you that the technical form looks like this. AX plus BY equals C. Now, A, B, and C can just be any random number. So, for instance, like looking down at 19, 2x minus 3y equals negative 12. So A, B, and C are just any random number. So basically, it's just saying that the x's and y's are on the same side, everything else is on the other side. Something like number 16. Technically, this is a 1x plus 1y equals 3. Now, if I want to graph this, all I'm going to do, there's a couple of different ways you can graph this, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my algebra skills, and I'm going to change this into slope-intercept form. Now, slope-intercept form says y equals. That's my whole goal. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to take away the x's so that all I'm left with here is y equals. And technically that says 1y, but don't forget 1y and y are the same thing. Alright, so now I have these two. Now here's the biggest mistake. Sometimes people will say, oh, 3 minus 1x is 2x, or 2, or negative 2x. But these are not like terms. So all I am going to do is I'm going to write them side by side. Now it's written in slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 1x plus 3. Now you're going to do the exact same thing you did with the other notes. You're going to start with your y-intercept, which in this case is positive 3. And then I'm going to follow my slope. Now my slope is right here. But don't forget, you can always make these fractions if they're not fractions. So this is negative 1 over 1. So my rise over my run, in this case, negative 1 over 1. That tells me to go down 1 and then to the right 1. So I would start here and I go down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. As many times as you want to. Don't forget, the last thing that you should do is connect them. And we're good to go. Cool. All right, let's check it out again. Number 17. Sorry, I want to find something to cover up the rest of that ugly word. Alright, there we go. So, number 17, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to come off to the side, and I'm going to say I need to change this into slope-intercept form. This one's actually going to take 2 steps. My goal is for it to say y equals, which means I need to get rid of this x, but I also need to get rid of this negative 3. You're always going to start with the x. So to get rid of a positive x, I'm going to subtract x. We did this in chapter 1. This goes away. I'm left with just negative 3y on this side. Now, again, like what I just said, these two things you are going to write side by side. So now I have a negative x plus 3. I'm always writing the x first because y equals mx plus b. Now, to get rid of this negative 3 in front of the y, I need to realize that's multiplication, and so I need to divide. Here's the weird part. You're going to divide each piece over here by negative 3. Each piece. So this is going to go away, and I'm just left with y equals. Then I'm going to take it one piece at a time. Now don't forget, in between the negative and the x, there is a 1. So negative 1 divided by negative 3. Well, 2 negatives makes a positive, but I'm going to leave the 1 over 3 as a fraction. Because we like fractions. That's slope, right? And 3 divided by negative 3 is a negative 1. And this is what that looks like in slope-intercept form. Now I just need to graph it. So I'm going to start with my y-intercept. My y-intercept, which is -1. So I'm going to go on my y-axis, and I'm going to find -1. Okay. And then I'm going to follow my slope, which in this case is +1 over +3. That tells me to go up 1 and to the right 3. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start on my y-intercept. I'm going to go up 1 to the right 3. I'm going to put another dot. If you wanted to, you could do that again. Don't need to, but you could. And the last thing you should always do, I don't want just a bunch of dots, I want a line. So I'm going to connect them. I'm done. All right, keep going. Number 18. Getting more fun. So 3x minus 5y equals 15. So I'm going to do the same thing as before, where I am going to change that into slope-intercept form. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of these x's. That 3x as a whole, I need to get rid of that 3x term. Then I'll come get rid of the -5. But first, you're going to get rid of your x term. So to get rid of a positive 3x, I subtract 3x. This goes away. Super common mistake is I'll see somebody write this. Don't forget about this tiny little negative here. Easy to forget. Now I've got -3x plus 15. -3x plus 15. Now I want to get rid of this -5, so I'm going to divide by -5, but I'm going to divide each piece by -5. Giving myself a little bit more room here. Hope you can see it. This part goes away, and I'm just left with y equals -3 over -5. Again, those two negatives will make a positive, but 3/5, you could write that as 0.6. That's not going to be helpful. So I'm just going to leave it as 3 over 5. And then 15 divided by -5 gives me a -3. And this right here is my equation in slope-intercept form. Now it's important to note that this and this are the exact same line, just written in two different forms. One is written in slope-intercept. One is written in standard. Standard sucks. It doesn't tell me anything at all. Nothing useful. So I change it into a form that's helpful. Again, I'm going to start here with my y-intercept, which is -3. So I put a dot at -3. And then I have a slope of 3/5. 3/5. +3 tells me to go up. +5 tells me to go to the right. That's rise over run. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. To the right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could try and put another dot. 1, 2, 3. Right 5. 1. Poop. I'm out of room. But that's fine. You only need 2. As always, the last thing you should do is connect them. There you go. You got your line. All right, we've got one more. Let's see if I can get it here. There we go. All right, this is number 19. Number 19 is the last one on here. 2x minus 3y equals a -12. That's what we're going to graph. But to graph this, you do need to put it in slope-intercept form. So just like before, in fact, why don't you take a minute, why don't you pause this video and see if you can do it without me? That would be what's most beneficial. Obviously, I can't check to see if you're doing that, but I would recommend it. Pause it, try it without me, and then unpause me. Did you do it? Come on, do it. Do it. Okay, I'm going to keep going. All right, so first thing I need to get rid of is this 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. This goes away, and I'm left with a negative 3y. Again, these cannot be squished together. One has an x, one does not have an x. So I'm going to write them side by side, and I'm always going to write the x's first because y equals mx plus b. I remember talking about this a lot in chapter 1. I told you this would be helpful eventually. I wasn't lying. And lastly, I'm going to divide by negative 3, and notice I divide every single piece. Each piece. This goes away. I'm left with y equals, let's see, negative 2 over negative 3. Well, two negatives make a positive, and there's nothing else I can do with 2/3. Again, you could write it as a decimal, 0.6 repeating, but that's not helpful. Negative 12 divided by negative 3 gives me a positive 4. And this is my equation, slope-intercept form. Positive 4 is my y-intercept, and my slope is 2/3, telling me to go up 2 and to the right 3. So I go up 2, I go right 3, I'm done. Again, I can't fit any more points. So I said I'm done. I'm technically not. I need to connect them. Bad, Mr. Hayward. Need to put my arrows as well. That's it. So just a reminder, this is how you can graph things in standard form. Standard form. Okay, bye.